Hey Elevators, Derek here. This week at Elevate, we're going to do part 2 in our new series, Explained. If you remember last week, we started with what turned into a very deep theological discussion about why God and why we believe and all that kind of stuff. And I'm really looking forward to carrying on that conversation this week. So make sure to write down and remember your questions. Anything that you thought of from last week, make sure to remember that, and we'll talk about it this week. Anyway, last week, what we talked about was how the point of the Bible is to get to know God better. It's not a rule book. It wasn't designed to be a rule book. It was designed to show us who God is and how He wants to live with His people. We talked about how the Old Testament is kind of God relating to man in the way that man wanted God to relate. We as humans decided we wanted God to behave a certain way because we believed that God should behave a certain way, and so He was like, all right, and He did. But then the New Testament, when Jesus came, that's God showing us how God wants to relate to us. And it's a whole different kind of a game, and it's paradigm shifting. It'll change the way you think. The more that you realize that the way that God wants to treat us, the way that God wants to spend time with us, is fully represented in the way that Jesus behaved, in the way that Jesus treated the people around Him. So this week is week 2, and we are going to look at how context creates clarity. Okay. Remember last week we talked a little bit about how a lot of times when people think something is wrong with the Bible, a lot of times it's because they don't understand the context. So like, for instance, a lot of the things that people would say, well, the Bible is against women. The Bible's not against women, but it was speaking to a specific culture in a specific time with a specific context where that's how things were. But when Jesus came, Jesus brought and showed the world that women are fully valuable and complete equals, and there should be no difference in status between men and women. That was Jesus' attitude. That's God's attitude. And so when we realize and we understand the context of the discussion, things that seem wrong, we find out really aren't, because the heart of God really is good and really is loving and really is kind. So that's more of what we're going to talk about this week. Context creates clarity. And again, guys, bring your questions. And you know what? If you bring so many questions that we end up spending the whole night talking about those and we never get to my notes, that's okay. We can push my notes on. I love it when you guys bring questions and comments and conversation. It's so great. So guys, that's all I've got to share with you today. Make sure to like and comment on this video. Let me know what's working, what's not working. Of course, subscribe to Elevate Updates so that you can be in the know on all things Elevate Student Ministries. You guys have an awesome weekend. We'll see you when we see you. Bye.